Hey guys, what's up? I'm BMP. Welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are having a marvelous day. As Sony finally entered the arena in this product, and I'm super excited to reviewing this. And this product was needed on so many levels, and I may be pretty late to the party on this review of this product, but that's because when Sony came out with this, I just assumed they would have a lot of product in this, but apparently not. They flew up the shelves, and then third-party vendors were all like, let's jack up the price. So it was ridiculous, and I was like, I'll just wait till it came back in stock, and it did, and I ordered it, and it came, and I already have it set up. So let's go. I want to give you guys a setup review and my initial thoughts of the Sony Back Button Attachment. So let's go. Alright guys, if you are big into gaming or esports in general, you probably already know of these type of controllers like Scuff, Evil, Battle Beaver. Even Astro entered into the arena with a controller with back buttons or paddles to help give you a little leg up in the competition when you're playing games like Call of Duty or Fortnite, things of that nature. If you don't know what a controller like Scuff or Battle Beaver of those even are, or back buttons or paddles, and that you're kind of foreign to that, don't worry, I'll give you a quick rundown of what those exactly are. You have your standard PS4 controller, you got your buttons on the front, and then you got nothing on the back, so basically it's just a standard controller. You see what you get. Then you have a controller like Scuff, where you can customize buttons, colors, things like that. And what you do, you have your standard button layout on the front, and then you have buttons, or like Scuff has paddles on the back. And what these paddles do is they replace a front-facing value button that you have on the thing. So for example, here you have your standard PS4 controller. So you have, if you're playing a game like hypothetically Call of Duty and you're in a battle with an enemy, you're using this trigger to aim in your gun at your enemy. You're using this trigger to fire the weapon. You're using this analog stick to move your character around, and you're using this analog stick over here to aim your gun at your opponent. So say you're doing all those things, but all of a sudden you need to jump to get out of the way or take cover from your enemy so you don't lose that battle. So you're going to be using all these buttons, moving around, and then you need to jump out of the way. So you need to take your thumb off this analog stick right here that's aiming your gun at your opponent, just to press the X button so you can get behind cover or get away. So you're potentially taking your thumb off this analog stick that's aiming the gun at your opponent, and then your opponent's probably not standing still either, so they're probably moving around. So if you take your thumb off this analog stick to press X to jump out of the way or take cover, you're no longer aiming your gun at your opponent, so therefore causing you possibly to lose that gun battle a lot faster if you could just keep your thumb on this analog stick and hit X at the same time, so you're still aiming and jumping simultaneously. That's what companies like Battle Beaver or Scuff did with these type of controllers. What they did is I could potentially put, you have X right here, I'm going to take one of these paddles in the back right here, this one will say, and change this to the X function. X still works if I press it up here, but I now have a paddle in the back that I can use as X. So if I'm in that same scenario where I'm playing Call of Duty and I'm shooting somebody, I'm aiming my gun in with this one, I'm shooting my gun with this, I'm using this analog stick to move my character around, and I'm using this analog stick over here to aim my weapon at my enemy. So if I'm doing all those things and I still want to take cover and dodge or duck and dive or whatever, to do whatever I need to do to make it harder for my enemy to kill me, instead of taking my thumb off this analog stick that's aiming at them and to press X, I can just hit this paddle right here while still moving all around and firing, therefore being able to simultaneously move my gun with my enemy who's also moving, and pressing X at the same time could potentially make me win more gun battles more seamlessly as if I were taking my thumb off this and pressing X to try to take cover and evade my enemy. So that's what these do. They kind of give you an upper hand in movement in the game. With that big advantage with having these paddles on the back to replace front-facing buttons on the front, comes with a big price tag as well, and not everyone can afford that. These controllers can run anywhere from $200+ and up, so you're stuck with this, which isn't bad, it gets the job done, but Sony saw that there was a need and they finally entered into the arena. It did something super awesome at a fraction of the price. I'll get into the price in a minute, but inside your box you guys have your back button attachment, and honestly this thing is a lot smaller than I expected it to be. I don't know why, I didn't expect it to be huge, but I expected it to be bigger than this. This is pretty low profile, and it honestly does not get in my way at all because I've already used this a little bit. And setup is a breeze. Sony really did everything. It's wireless, so that's a plus, and it doesn't use batteries. So it's not like you have to charge this up and then you could potentially this run out of battery while you're gaming and then you can't use it. So this is literally powered by the power of your PS4. So if your PS4 is on and you have your controller on, then this thing is working, which is freaking awesome in my opinion. So setup, guys, is super simple. You see that 3.5mm jack that's inside, and then you have the other little port you stick into the bottom of the corresponding holes in your standard PS4 controller. That's what makes this attachment so sweet. It's cheap, and you just plug it into the bottom of your already existing PlayStation Sony controller into those ports. It's pretty easy. You just line up the ports. So obviously this is going to be facing the back of your controller because these are the buttons that you're going to be pressing. So you're going to want to make sure those are lined up with the back of your controller. As you can see, I do not have it pushed in all the way. I just wanted to show you that you just line up that 3.5mm jack with a 3.5mm jack in the bottom. And all you guys are going to do is push that in. Push it the whole ways up, flush. It's gonna make a small clicking noise, and then that's it. You have it pretty much set up. As you guys can see, you have this circle in the back of the back button attachment, and all you have to do is press that and it illuminates. As you guys can see, it lights up in the back, so you can see it does go away. But setting this up to set your back buttons to whatever face button you want is super simple. You have it, you're just gonna press it, you're gonna see it illuminate, and then you're gonna wanna press and hold this. You guys are gonna see that that's blinking and then that there are arrows. So that's how you know you're ready to customize which paddle you want to do which. When you see those blinking and then the arrow, all you have to do is pick which side you want, and then you cycle through. So you could pick which one you want. The possibilities are literally endless. You can choose to put any button you want, including the options buttons, the start button, whatever you want. And for the other button, you literally just press that corresponding paddle to whatever button you want. We have square, and then we're gonna place this one as our X. And then you either just tap it to set it in to lock that in, or you can just let it go and it will automatically just lock it in after you don't touch anything for a few moments. So what's really cool about this is when you press this, you guys can see that it says P1. So if you illuminate it again, so there's different profiles that you can have. So if you just double click, then that goes to P2. You double click again, that goes to P3. So you have 3 potential profiles, so you don't have to constantly switch it up. So if you're playing Fortnite and you'd rather have different face buttons than you would have for Call of Duty, set your preset 1 for Call of Duty, set your preset 2 for Fortnite, set preset 3 for something like Mortal Kombat, whatever you want. There are 3 different profiles that you can have preset on the fly. So what if you're switching out games, all you have to do is click, illuminate it, double click, and it goes to the next profile. Double click again, and it will go to the next profile. So now some of you are like, well, you plug that into your 3.5mm jack, so does that mean I can't use a headset? No, Sony thought that through, and they have a import for you to put your headset right there in that little 3.5mm jack that they have at the bottom of the adapter, which is pretty cool. Now, I have a wireless headset, so I haven't had to use that jack, but I have seen other people that did reviews on these saying that sometimes you could get some feedback or static, white noise, whatever you want to call it, when you do place your headset jack into this hole. You may come in with some static if you are using a wired headset with this adapter. But like I said, I have a wireless headset, so I can't truly test that to see. I know some people said they didn't have it, and some people said they did have it. Guys, I absolutely love this thing. I have a Scuff, and I use it a lot. I use them practically every single time I game, but honestly, both of my Scuffs are a little under the weather. Taylor broke the trigger stop on this, and my down button on my D-pad doesn't work on this one, so I can't use it all the time, like especially in Warzone. Like I mainly use this one right now. I can't use it in Warzone because I can't drop my weapon or money to my teammates, and that could be a disaster. So that leaves me using this, especially if I want to play Warzone, and right now I'm obsessed with Warzone. I love Warzone. It's a great game. I want to be able to drop money and weapons and ammo to my teammates to help us get that dub. So I'm stuck using your standard Sony controller, which is nothing wrong with it, but I love my back button. So for Sony to come out with this attachment right here that is wireless, not using an extra port like the Strike Pack, setup super simple. Everything is pretty tactile. You know you're hitting the buttons definitely no latency whatsoever, and at the price point of $30. So if you're someone who games all the time but don't have the $200+ or can't see yourself spending $200+ on a controller that gives you the back buttons, or just a casual gamer that can't see spending $200 on a controller that you're not going to use day in and day out, for $30 you can pick up this Sony Back Button Attachment, and boom, you have the same type of advantage as someone that's shelled out $200+ for a SCUF. I love that Sony came out with this. Then Sony never had a need to do anything like this before, but I'm glad that they finally saw a need, especially in price point. Not everybody has the money or are willing to shell out that type of money to get a controller like a SCUF or a Battle Beaver. And I think it's super awesome that Sony's making a product like this super accessible to anyone that wants to use this and not have to spend a crap ton of money to get the same advantages as if you were to have a SCUF or a Battle Beaver. I know I'm giving a lot of rave to this. There are a few things I do not like about it. One, like I mentioned earlier, if you are someone that uses a wired headset, you possibly could have that white noise or some interference or whatsoever if you're using the bottom of that 3.5mm jack that's built into the bottom of this back button attachment. Another thing is where I place my hands. I could be pressing the X to jump, but my other finger always wants to press this button too. It like falls. I have heavy hands for some reason, so I have square set for this one, right? And squares reload. So if I'm pressing X to jump out of the way of my opponent, for some crazy reason, I'm still going to be hitting that square button without knowing it. So I have to be super vigilant and not to press that square button, or else I'm reloading in the middle of a gunfight and I'm losing. But there's a plus side to that, because what Sony did is they realized, well, maybe that could be an issue, and you don't have to set any type of face value to this to any one of the paddles. So if you want to just use X, you can use X, and this can be set to nothing. And then so if you're pressing it while gaming, you're not going to be reloading or crouching or whatever you set that to in the middle and possibly causing you to die. When I use this, I do not have my left paddle set to anything. I just have you strictly on X. For the most part, I think Sony did a great job. For $30, you get this, which pretty much gives you the same type of advantages you get if you would spend $200+ on a SCUF with the paddles on the back. My initial thoughts on this is about time someone came up with a concept like this that is affordable for pretty much anyone to get their hands on, and I love that. So hopefully Sony amped up the product availability this time around so you guys can get your own. This is, like I said, this is my initial thoughts. I'm going to be playing this with a lot since both of my SCUFs are down, like I said. I'm going to be using this back button attachment a lot, and I'm going to give you guys a 1-month review to let you guys know if there's any latency, input lag issues, anything like that, or if it just doesn't hold up to gameplay. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to know how this holds up over time, you guys are going to definitely want to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you guys know when we put out a new video, especially this 1-month review video. Also, I do live stream over on Twitch practically every Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I will put the link down below, but it is twitch.tv/BMP_89. So if you guys did enjoy the video, please consider hitting that thumbs up button. And if you guys do have questions that you just cannot wait, just head over to Twitch, jump in that chat, or hit any of the other links down below for social media, and you guys can drop me a DM, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys continue staying safe with all this COVID stuff. Until the next one, I'll see ya. I'm out. Bye.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.